Okay. Who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands at my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W, but of course you already know that because this is episode 280 of the Dan Who livestream, the weekly show. We will recap the week that was in Marvel Legend news. And there may not be a lot of Marvel Legend news in the month of March, but there's definitely a lot of Marvel-centric news this week. As you may have noticed, Spider-Man dropped a new trailer. So that is what we're discussing today. There were already leaks for the Spider-Man figures. So let's see how they compare now we've seen some official footage. No more leaks and like random screenshots. Like now we have some official source material to look at and dissect. And the trailer was fun. So we will discuss, but it's not just me because Jay's here with me. Jay, how you doing?
Hello, I'm all right. Is the MCU back on track, everybody? Have you seen the trailer? You better have, because we're about to spoil it.
Yeah, I do think the people's fandom for the MCU goes up and down. It's like peaks and troughs, isn't it? Like when Spider-Man comes around, everyone loves it again, and then the next film usually tanks it. But hopefully not with Doomsday around the corner. It should be with the MCU this year. We've got this month Daredevil season 2. With one of my favourite Netflix characters returning, Jessica Jones, which I'm very much looking forward to. So we've got Daredevil, then we've got Spider-Man. Then after Spider-Man, we've got a Punisher special at some point in the summer. We're not too sure when. Then we've got Vision Quest. And then we've got Doomsday at the end of the year. So that's just live action. And then in regards to animation, we know we got MCU-centric X-Men Season 2 for 97 as well. So it genuinely should be a good year for the MCU, but does that equate to good action figures for our collection as well? Time will tell.
They got me so excited last night. I thought, right, let's watch some Marvel. So I started to watch Wonder Man. So they've actually got me to start backtracking. And so far, 3 episodes in, absolutely hilarious. I think it's a very good show. So actually, yeah, I think hopefully there is a nice turnaround for the MCU. Shout out Trevor, because he's all over that show.
Yeah, Trevor's a main character. Like I tried to tell, like it was hard for me to recommend Wonder Man because the name, like I tried to get Amanda to watch Wonder Man with me, but the name sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Like, so she was like, I'm not watching Wonder Man, like, but the name in itself is a bit meta, do you know, like, and it's very different to anything the MCU has done in regards to the live action stuff, but I liked it as well. I really did like Wonder Man. I like the characters, and I look forward to seeing where they pop up in the MCU again, because if you know how it, well, when you get to the ending you'll see it, so no spoilers from me, but yeah, continue watching it, Jay. It's good. It's a good show.
I will. I got Cheeky Monkey to watch me. She's like, "Who's the Mandarin?" I was like, "This is going well." So she eventually, when they showed the flashback of Trevor as the Mandarin, she's like, "Oh yes, I remember now." I was like, "Yeah, you got to think back 15 years nearly to Iron Man 3."
He's in Shang-Chi as well, and there's a one shot as All Hail the King or something like that on Disney Plus, which is only a couple of minutes. Like you can get her to watch that, and that will give us some context to him being in prison. But Wenwu is the actual Mandarin of the MCU, as we know, which is Shang-Chi's father, right? Yeah, it is. So
I was doing all sorts of googling. I didn't realise Ben Kingsley is 82 years old. That's a random fact for the day.
Oh, it looks great.
I couldn't believe it. He looked in his 60s. I was like, 82. My goodness, he looks better than me.
He was in that a film, wasn't he, about the murderers, the old people in the murderers? I can't remember what it was called. Murderer's Club or something like that. He was in that recently, to be fair, but he's got the wig for Trevor, hasn't he? Anyway, we will get into talking about the MCU, especially Spider-Man, but let me first do the housekeeping. As always, Friday is here, alive and well, hopefully on a Thursday. Always appreciate that first one to get us off the ground. Anything over £4 or $4, Friday, our super chat. We'll read it out loud, interrupt the show in a good way. Everything goes towards the channel. Hit that join button, go one step further. Legends and Liquor is this weekend, people. So just letting you know, this Sunday, which is Sunday the 22nd, we do have Legends and Liquor. So if you want to be on the show, start hitting me up with those fresh DMs, because it's already starting to fill up now. People know the groups get packed very quickly, so I get a lot of early messages, which I'm not complaining about. It's always great to have a full cast of characters on the show. So that's Sunday. Hit that join button, members club for that. And then as always, we've got the Who Crew Deluxe tier tonight for the bonus show, talking all things Spider-Man. And again, if we get 5 super chats during today's show, I will leave the bonus show public. Which I think we did last week, didn't we? So that was good news. That was good news. Yeah, that was
you made it last week, and any channel members may have spotted Rich M over the weekend. I saw pop up with the return to the channel. But he's only exclusive now.
That is perfect segue. Yeah. So as always, I always tell you what's on the channel last week. So last week I did my Ghostbusters Rooftop Showdown review, because there wasn't one on YouTube, and I myself had questions, so I tried to do the right thing and answer those questions for anyone that was interested, and I've got some decent feedback on that, because I think people appreciated knowing the differences between these versions and the original Plasma series releases to accompany your Ecto 1. So if you're curious, go and check that out. I also, thanks to Rich, had the Diamond form Emma Frost that we've knew about since MCM. Had her in my hands, did a review, put her together with the whole astonishing team. So both Emma Frost Diamond form and Kitty Pryde and Colossus reviews are on the channel right now. But what Jay is referring to is that for channel members, over the weekend, I did a bonus unboxing stream on the Saturday before I went out. Oh no, it was Sunday, wasn't it? I did it on Sunday before I went out on Mother's Day. And Rich was around and joined. So Rich was there for the whole hour, catching up, talking toys with whoever was joining us, who else was there. So yeah, if you're a channel member and you're joining these bonus streams, you never know, Rich might make an appearance. Jay might make an appearance now he's retired from Legends and Liquor. You never know. Well, saying that, you were on Legends and Liquor last week to get some bonus duck points. So
I was there for hours to get one solitary point. That's all they gave me, just 1 point.
Well, if your weekend goes to plan, come on Sunday so we can see if you film some footage. You don't have to stay the whole time, but I think people do appreciate seeing that. What we're talking about, you'll have to find out. But as always, lots of stuff on the channel. Let me go say hello to the chat. Because I can see Amanda's lingering in the chat. She's on the train right now.
She is all over the chat. Yeah, she's on an Uber.
She's on a train or an Uber or whatever. It's because I give her and her mates a lift to the train station this morning, and they're all coming back a little bit later. So if they might burst through this door, I hope they don't. For the record, don't do that if you're watching. But yeah, they're probably sat on a train watching me right now. They went to see Hercules in London. Are you seeing Hercules?
No, the Disney Hercules, or is it some?
Yeah, no, it's I think it pays tribute to the Disney Hercules. It does all the music. It's a musical.
Oh, all the wives and girlfriend been to London. Cheeky Bunky been last week again to see the Pixar experience. So she has been she's got some behind the scenes footage I need to do something with.
Did she like it?
She had a lovely time. You get to go in Andy's room and it's like to human scale. Oh, so nice. The bed is like 20 foot tall, so she had time of her life, it seems.
That sounds fun. It sounds very Instagram worthy, if you know what I mean. People are going for pictures.
She was doing that while I was trying to get a large box through a door that didn't fit, and she was on the doorbell watching me suffer.
Yeah, okay. Oh shit, yeah, because you couldn't get something through the door. Let me scroll up and shout out some people in the chat. Damien was in nice and early. We got Martin as well. Says Man Spider, the animated series Marvel Legends Retro Wave. Look, you're speaking to the right people. Jay has been talking about Man Spider on the retro card for a long time, and I want it as well. Maybe this movie can give Hasbro a little nudge to go in that direction in the comic world. Kevin B, he's there as well. Mark Tac 16 Mike says, what's up, Boo Crew? Justin Collect says, hello everyone, ready for another great Thursday stream. Dan and Jay are definitely justified. He's being nice, Jay. It's weird when Justin's being nice.
It's been nice. I'm backtracking and watching all the Justified at the minute. They've been keeping me entertained during the work week.
Shout out Justin. So Amanda's on the train, as we've seen. Bethany's here as well. Hello. Who else we got? I'm just scrolling past all of Amanda's. She's just being annoying. Jason Lopez, the retweeting killing. Adam Batman Moran is there as well. Creepy Cutters says, what's up? Cheek Monkey Kiara is in the chat as well. Is she in the house, Jay, or is she out?
She is in the house. She should be beyond that door.
Behind the door. Solo's there as well. Madison Kingsword, Daniels, Prophet, Craig's nostalgic.collection. Don't forget the dots, people, because Craig always forgets the dots. Like, he forgets his own catchphrase. We have to remind him. Super Turk's here as well. I know he was looking forward to a Spider-Man centric episode. He says, I was at that theatre for Randy Foutface a few weeks ago. I don't know what the hell Randy Foutface is.
I was wondering that too when I read that.
I don't know what Randy Foutface is. Some context, Tana, some context. Cloud Fox, Wallet and Arvin's there as well. Hello. How are we doing? So as always, we start off the show with some Marvel Legend news, but I do have a Marvel pickup, Jay. I'm sure you won't mind. It's not Marvel Legends, but it's Marvel centric. The Mafex Rogue arrived. Now, like a lot of people, I was buying all the Mafex stuff, and I had Rogue on pre-order for way over a year. I think I've still got Jubilee on pre-order, so I never cancelled my pre-orders, and I got a charge from Hobby Link Japan, and so I was like, okay, I guess I'm getting Rogue now. So I'm not mad at it because I feel like I'm committed now to getting the whole Jim Lee team, but it was like 4 or 5 years ago. These were seen as the ultimate Marvel like collectible, weren't they? Like the Mafex are top of the tier. But it seems like the crowd are turning on Mafex, and Mafex are going heel because of the whole CT Toys stuff. And now people are like, these are too expensive. They don't want to pay the price. Like, they were always very expensive anyway. But like, now CT Toys have come out, offered the exact same thing for like a quarter of the price, and now people don't want to pay for the legit thing. So this is real, people. There's the little sparkly sticker. This is legit. I paid a premium for it, so I don't think I'm going to do a review or anything like that. But yeah, I'm committed. I'm going to get Jubilee. I haven't pre-ordered Iceman, so I think I might just get Jubilee and call it a day, Jay. Just step back. Unless they do Beast, and then obviously I'm back in again. I'm easily swayed. But anyway, I was just curious. Is anyone else off the Mafex train, which I think Alexi was used to be the pilot of, but he has now jumped off and is the conductor telling people to get off at that stop because Alexi is out on the Mafex stuff. So yeah,
he's a goner.
Just curious.
He's joined me. I'm on the Goner train as well.
You're out on everything.
I am pretty much. The only ones I've kept on the shelf, looking behind me, are the Dark Knight Returns and the Death and Return of Superman stuff. All the Marvel has been pulled out. I need to find the boxes, and they'll be at Toy Fair. Is the plan if I can find all the accessories, but they tend to have got lost.
This is
I still think Mafex make a very good figure. Yeah, the organisation doesn't have them.
They will sell well at MCM, well, you never MCM, sorry, Toy Fair. We say that, and you never bloody know. You need to find the right audience, but you would think so. Just tell people they're CT Toys.
Yeah, CT Toys at Mafex prices will be my tagline. But yeah, my organisation is not on your level, unfortunately, and I don't even know if the accessory they're somewhere, but they're probably in the loft, so we can all cry together because we're nearly at the 1 year anniversary of me falling through the ceiling. Wow. We're just a few weeks away, I think, from the 1 year.
How things could have been different if you were like 2 foot the other side. Crazy. Right. Well, thankfully Jay is still here to live another day. I've got another. I've been 3D printing bits and bobs, right? And I've been trying to spruce up some of the more boring, not boring figures, but you know, like, I don't know, just some figures just need a bit more of an oomph or a bamf, shall we say. So I 3D printed myself this little hexagon, sort of stencil, if you will, and then I brought some wool. Sounds ridiculous, but it will make sense in a minute, and made myself a little Nightcrawler bamf. What do you think, Jay?
Oh, it's It's bigger than I thought would be my first reaction.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to scale it down a little bit because I've made it so it can stick, like it can actually stick on a stand type thing. Like I've made it so it can peg in, but I haven't sorted it yet. But I might scale it down a little bit because he's like a giant purple sheep.
It's a little large for the scale, but I can see the potential of where you're going.
Thank you. That's I was well aware it's a bit big as well, but it was my sort of I printed off. That's my little stencil basically, and then I've sort of hot glued to it. So this was my prototype, but I think for the main event I'll scale it down a little bit, and then it's not bad. I reckon it can. Has potential.
I reckon that can do the trick there. You do like to seem to print things large in prototype form.
Yeah, no, because I never know the scale until I've got it in my hand. Things always seem bigger in my hand, I don't know why.
Amanda, can you confirm that, please, if you're on the Uber?
She won't confirm anything. There we go. So there you go. I've tried to make a BAMP for Nightcrawler, but and I've made some custom chains for the other one as well, but. I'll keep you updated. Not that anyone cares, but I just thought I'd show it off. But thank you. Daniel S. thinks it looks fantastic. I appreciate that. Justin also says, Jesus Christ, Jay, please stay out the attic. Have you realised that every time he mentions your name on his channel membership list, he calls you attic renovations?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Mafex cost me the tag team championship, says Alexi. Jamie also says, something I never thought I'd see. The issue is Mafex aren't making figures. CT Toys won't be making them. So people need to continue buying them. Yeah, CT Toys ain't going to redo everything Mafex has done. That's just not going to happen. So, yeah, you've got to... I've got all the Jim Lee X-Men and I've got all the boys. And I've got a lot of the Hush Batman stuff. But, again... When I've got the boys, like once I've got Queen Maeve and A-Train, I think I'm good. And when it comes to Jubilee and Rogue, I think I'm good with X-Men. And then if Mattel do some good stuff with DC, again, I may step away. So I may be out on the Mafex train as well after all these years. But we shall see. Time will tell. Again, when they do Beast, they're going to have my attention. But in regards to Marvel Legends news, Jay, do the Legends team have your attention with this week's pre-order? It is, of course, the Black Widow and Quicksilver Avengers Crossing 2-pack. Another 2-pack, absolutely chock-a-block with accessories. So many accessories, you can't even see the back of the box. It's just absolutely packed out there, Jay. How excited are you for this 2-pack?
On a scale of 1 to 10, a solid 3. I would go for that. A solid 3. I think this has, if anything, has Amazon sale written on it. This pack has Amazon sale written on it. They've been doing some spring deals recently that I have been taking pure advantage of. But you know where they are. They must be somewhere in the house and record unboxing them. But I think this will be a sale job. I quite like the outfit for Quicksilver. I think it's an interesting looking outfit. Natasha's outfit's very similar to a lot of other Natasha outfits. It doesn't do a lot for me. So if this has a reduction, I might pull the trigger. But I don't think I'll be clamoring to pre-order one. My goodness me, look at that 90s bottom graphic.
That is the comic accurate outfit from Avengers: The Crossing. There is also on the leak list, the rumors that are out there, we will also be getting a Vision and a Scarlet Witch 2-pack from this Crossing. But in my mind, Hasbro ain't just going to give us Quicksilver, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch and Vision. So I do think we'll get another 2-pack, and maybe the Avengers Crossing could be a theme that's throughout the year, and we could get maybe a Hawkeye and an Iron Man in a 2-pack as well, or a couple of single releases. Again, I'm not saying anybody wants this, just an observation that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are the first. We think we're going to get Vision and Scarlet Witch, and then I think there are probably going to be a couple more as well. I know people are more curious about Thor.
I like Thor's hair, I think. But I want to see some crazy hair if they do it. But if they're going to do 3/4 of the team, they might as well just do all the team.
This is what I'm saying. I think they're going to do more than the Thor. Jay, let's just confirm. Let's just say in our head that Scarlet Witch and Vision are confirmed. Out of the other four, which there can only be one more 2-pack, who are you putting together?
I would want Hawkeye and Thor, but I would say they would definitely go with Iron Man and the Hawkeye, just because it looks easier to do.
That would be my guess as well. But I think Iron Man and Thor would be a great 2-pack, but I reckon it'll be Iron Man and Hawkeye. But we will see. We will see. We don't know anything yet, but that's the Avengers crossing. Very 90s style. Rich has informed me it's not the greatest of stories. I did start reading the first issue. That's where I grabbed some of these images from, because I also noticed my boy Beast was in there. There he is. So I might still dabble and continue to read it and report back. But yeah, so far, that's this week's pre-order. The one caveat I will say with this is that you get some nice head sculpts. You've got the angry expression with the short hair for Natasha, and then you've got a couple of heads for Pietro as well. So you can pop these off and on the previous Black Widow and Quicksilver bodies. And that outfit for Quicksilver is also the outfit he wore when DC and Marvel crossed over. So he may pair up nicely with some of the DC figures next year if Mattel do the right thing and put them in the same scale as Legends. So again, this may be a purchase for the long game, or like Jay said, maybe just wait for the sale, because if you're not in a rush for it. So because there's no accurate team for them to go in currently, I don't think. I think Quicksilver wore that outfit a little bit longer, but yeah, you're missing the team that makes them complete, so you're gonna have to wait for some more. But anyway, that was this week's pre-order. Now, in regards to Marvel Legend news, we spoke about last week how March has just been pre-orders of stuff we already knew. No reveals in March, absolutely nothing. And I think this time last year, we had already had a ton of reveals, different live streams, etc. So I think Dan Yoon, because I asked Dan about the Marvel getting a Walmart exclusive. I just asked him, I went, a Walmart, a Marvel getting an exclusive, and he just said, he just confirmed no Marvel this time round. But that's for this version of, but I think he, because obviously we made some clickbaity headlines out of it, I think he's put out some setting of expectations on his Twitter. So he said, setting of expectations, we will not have a fan stream in March, but we will still have pre-orders for already revealed stuff in March for older pre-orders still up and available, which we already knew. He says, April could be fun though. Thank you, Marvel Legends community. So firstly, thank you, Dan. We do always appreciate the little nuggets, the little bit of communication that you give us on Twitter, because again, it's appreciated. He says, always love me some Spider-Man and Spider-Man action figures. That was when the Spider-Man trailer dropped, because obviously, there's going to be some Spider-Man figures. Every Spider-Man film since since Andrew Garfield's, which one's got the? Which one is
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Is that the? That's the Electro.
Was in the group. That was in the Green Goblin.
Yes, 2014.
Wave, yeah.
Yes. So
yeah.
Since that, like Hasbro era, have done every Spider-Man movie since that Andrew Garfield movie. Thank you, Chadwick. He says, hype for brand new day figures. Hopefully it's a wave with deluxes, not just one or the other. A certain returning tease character will look great on the shelf with Vulture if we get him amongst many other characters. Yes, we will be discussing, Chadwick, I appreciate that. Yes, there are a few little nuggets out there so we can start piecing together what will be in that Spider-Man wave. That's what we're about to do. So stay with me, because Dan's then got on to say, Marvel Legends for the month of April, bread emoji. So save that bread for April, people. Jay, first question. Do you think there'll be a Marvel live stream in April, or is it just going to be some random reveals throughout the month?
Well, the way I've taken that then is that the brand new day figures, we probably won't have a live stream, and as they have done many a time previously, is add them on maybe one of these more like pop culture websites. So maybe in March we would get those, and then a full live stream in April, and they would start that live stream with a recap of said Spider-Man stuff, and then give us something new. So I'm still thinking we might get something Spider-Man this month, the way I've read that, but maybe a pre-order for them in April.
From reading his first one, where he says, like, he doesn't mention, he sort of gives the assumption, and again, I'm making an assumption, but he gives the assumption that there'll be nothing in March, and we need to look forward to April. So I do think it will be early April we're going to get some Spider-Man figures, but the movie isn't out until July. So I'm thinking, is that too early?
On the very end, literally the last day of July, so pretty much August. That film is.
But pre-orders that are going up now are shipping in August. What was that? Smart Hulk, for example, which was last week's pre-order or the week before's pre-order, that is an August ship date. So if the Spider-Man figures come out pre-movie, like the Fantastic Four figures did, and that's how figures should be released. They should be available as the movie is in the theatre. So if people enjoy the movie, they can instantly go and buy the figures to represent the movie that they've just watched. You know, like that's how it should be done. So I think the figures will be available before the movie. So that could mean the pre-orders very, very soon. And I think that's what Dan Yoon is sort of preparing us for with the love me some Spider-Man figures, save your money for April. So that's what we're going to discuss, Jay. We're going to go through the rumours, because there are leaks out there already, before we've seen a trailer. And then we will go through the trailer and just grab a few comic references and see if we can figure out what we'd like to see in the Marvel Legends line. Can you remember what the rumours were for Spider-Man?
I can't. No, the MCU stuff I kind of put out of my head, especially when it came to Doomsday, because it was every single character that's ever been in Marvel. So I just switched off when it came to MCU rumors. So honestly, no, I cannot remember what the stuff would be for a rumor for MCU stuff.
Yeah, so when you're right, when Doomsday has been brought up with the leak list, and again, when I talk about leak lists, shout out David Evans Smith, not David Evans Smith. I always do that. It's not
David Evans Smith. There you are, leaking on Collecting Justified.
Shout out David Evans Smith. No, it's not David. The other David, the David Displays Model Behavior. He does the leaks. God knows who his source is. Maybe it's Spicy Psyduck. We don't know. But shout out Spicy Psyduck. Shout out David Displays. Because they're the ones leaking this stuff. So when I talk about leaks, I'm talking from the stuff that they have published out there, okay? So take everything with a grain of salt. But yeah, with Doomsday, they just kept adding characters to the list. So like, you just have to ignore it, because they've basically just listed every character. It's like, of course they're going to make some of them. Like, of course you're going to be right if you're just guessing everything. Like, anyway. But when it comes to Spider-Man, they named 3 characters, Jay. So can you think...
Well,
what 3 it would be?
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go on a massive limb here. Is one of them some version of Spider-Man?
How did you know that? I thought you said you couldn't remember these leaks.
Well, I used to have a side that lived in this house, you see, the leaks were just there.
Yes, of course, Spider-Man was a name on that list. What other 2 different characters for Spider-Man?
I would think there was, okay, well, we say we've seen a trailer now, but there was always rumours that Hulk was going to be in this film, so I think you'd go with Hulk. Yeah. And then the third one, you're going to have to go with some sort of villain, and the most obvious one, again, teased previously, would have been Scorpion from the previous, so that's the 3 I would have gone for.
Well, Scorpion was never on the list. Spider-Man and Hulk were. The third one was actually Punisher. So even though we just got a Punisher, which you've got right there.
Hold on a second. There's a part of MCU, and that's Wolverine. That's a Silver Cell. There you go. I've just been moving the MCU over the last couple of days because I got a bit MCU hype. So I was like, where's the stuff to open? So apparently it's a world exclusive. The David Displays Model Behavior leaked Punisher is here at Jay's Toy Collection UK, and that's why there's an empty shelf, because that's where the MCU was, and it's now been promoted. It's gone back upstairs after the excitement this trailer gave me yesterday.
Well, that's the question with this Punisher. It's like, we've just got one with Brand New Day. So are they just going to give us a different version of him a year later?
The logo is different. The hair looks pretty much the same, so it's going to be a logo change. I imagine it's all that would be from Frank there.
If his look in this movie is very similar to how he looked in Daredevil, I'd rather they wait and give us a variant look for Frank, like, because in his special, I think he's got a big beard. Do you know, like, so I think that'd be a nice alternative look. If we get figures for the
and the special
stuff.
Is after.
Yes,
we have that confirmed.
Yes, because John Bernthal talked about them wanting the character to be able to walk off Spider-Man set and walk onto a Punisher set and it still be in tone. So like obviously in the trailer he muted him, didn't he? He essentially censored him.
It's a very good moment.
So like because obviously it's still it's Spider-Man. They can't make Spider-Man anything other than PG-13 because they'd be losing money because it's everybody loves Spider-Man. It's got to be as much as I'd love to see a gritty R-rated Spider-Man movie. There's no way the studios will do that. So yeah, it's still got to be.
They tried with R-rated Venom, and that didn't work for Sony.
Yeah, so I hope.
Let's not try that again.
I hope the Punisher doesn't go soft because that's not why we love the Punisher. So yeah, we shall see. But anyway, this was the rumored 3. But now we've got a trailer, we can start thinking about other potential characters because there are lots of others. So let's go through some of them here. Let me close some tabs first, and then we can go through. So basically, I'm just stealing what the whole internet have done this, by the way. The whole internet have just gone through the trailer and grabbed the comic reference. So that's what we're going to do, Jay. So first up, you mentioned him. So we'll start right there. So 9 years after the post-credit scene of Homecoming, it seems we're finally getting payoff, which is good to see because I hate those end trailer things that never lead to anything and just get forgotten about. So I'm very glad to see it make sense. 9 years after, we have Matt Gorgon as Scorpion in a very sort of it's what the MCU do. They sort of modify the costumes to fit in the real world concept. I always think they actually do a really good job of it. I just wish he had his accurate mask. Do you know, like, because I see him with the green mask.
Are they saving it? Are they saving the helmet of some description?
Maybe, yeah. I guess a green helmet would be the case. They did that for Wolverine, didn't they? Where they CGI'd it on. So maybe there's still opportunity to CGI it on. But maybe the actor just wanted his face on show finally after waiting 9 years in the wings. But anyway, Scorpion is out in the trailer. So you mentioned it, Jay. Scorpion would be a good figure. He would have to be a deluxe of some kind. And I feel pretty confident we're going to get a deluxe. The last Spider-Man movie, we got 2 deluxes, Green Goblin and Doc Ock. And I'm pretty confident both of them sold very well. Like,
well, we got 3 technically. Electro was a.
Oh, you're not wrong.
A lot long. We had to wait quite a while, which is probably why you've not put them together. But,
and I suppose, well, if you're going to say that, I guess so. Electro, Lizard, Doc Ock, and Green Goblin
Lizard,
were all deluxes essentially. So I think Scorpion would have to get that type of treatment where if you're going to do his tail justice, make it articulated, maybe segmented, do it. I hope they do a good job of it. Maybe we can get it'll have to have the actor's likeness if he's not wearing a mask of some degree. I hate it when that sometimes will stop them making a figure. Do you know, if they can't get the actor's likeness right, they avoid it.
This is what I was been thinking because I've been waiting for a long time. I love Michael Mando as an actor. He was fantastic in Better Call Saul. I absolutely love Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, 2 of my absolute favorite programs ever, and he was great in that. So he's been teased, as you say, for 9 years as the Scorpion. So I kind of like actually the fact, because I really like the actor, that we are seeing his face because I would love a figure of him. But that then comes down to, do they have likeness rights deals for, because they didn't have it clearly for Jamie Foxx and
Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Keaton. None of them, all of them got Marvel Legends, but all of them had their likenesses redacted essentially. Vulture's wearing his helmet, Mysterio's wearing his dome, and Electro's got the electric star on his face. So if he isn't wearing a helmet or he doesn't have a variant look, then they're going to have his likeness to do him justice.
You've got to, and like, thinking of those, though, like, you've got to pay the dollar, Hasbro, because Hot Toys made all those figures and they all had the alternate head. Therefore, it's maybe not the actors not giving their likeness, they just probably want a bit more than they were willing to pay for it. But I would love a Scorpion. I do like this design. I think this looks quite. The MCU's got to make it more realistic a lot of the time, a more mechanical looking Scorpion. I think the tail looks really good. They did a more mechanical version in like the Spider-Man PS5 games. Yeah. So you can see a nice lot of articulation of that is separate segments if that is something they make. But you are right; that's clearly not going to be a. It could be a builder figure, but we don't like to say that word when it comes to the MCU these days. Yeah, so,
we wish you well.
Yeah.
We will see you again.
That is a deluxe I would definitely be in for. And I like this. That Todd McFarlane artwork you've got there as well on the screen.
Yeah, so the comic reference is the Spider-Man 318 from, can you guess the year of this comic cover?
1988.
Oh, very close, 89.
Oh, yeah, Todd was late 80s, so
very close. Yeah, very close. But yeah, great Spider-Man. And again, that's not the only comic reference as we're about to go. So, just before we move on with the chat, I just want to remind everybody, I have a poll up that says, in regards to, do you like the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer? Yes, it looked great. Look okay, but never trust trailers, because that can happen sometimes. Meh, another Spider-Man, same old, or wait for streaming. 4% waiting for streaming, 4% say meh, another Spider-Man film, 16% say looks okay, but never trust trailers, 76% says it looked great. So that's a pretty hefty chunk of the audience there.
All the MCU at nearly 100 votes as well. I think that's... Yeah, it says I really did enjoy this trailer. A very different director directing this new, which I'm assuming will be a trilogy as well.
The same director as Wonder Man, which you're currently watching.
Yeah, yes, I did notice it said Destiny at the end of that. I thought, oh, well, this is good then, because I'm enjoying Wonder Man with a different tone. Very cinematic for the people that like all their cinematic shots. I think in the trailer in different
New York looked
ways.
Grittier, didn't it? It's like, rather than the brightness of high school, it looked a little bit darker, which I liked.
Definite different tone to it. It was really good.
All good. So, okay, so Scorpion, I would actually like Jay says, 9 years after him being teased, Scorpion's another one of those Spider-Man Rogues Gallery characters that we haven't had in live action. We haven't until now. And he's one of the sort of main ones for me, at least. He was in the original Sinister Six in the animated show. So, yeah, he's always been a Spider-Man character I've really liked. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Because in the comics, J. Jonah Jameson is the person who gives him his costume and makes him go through that transformation. So I'm curious, is J. Jonah going to be involved with giving him a nudge here?
That's the same origin in the animated series, isn't it, with Matt Gargan and J. Jonah with the suit? Because clearly he's been in prison in the MCU. He's may not going to have a lot of money. Somebody's got to fund this tech. So have we got somebody tech working in the background?
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so there is Scorpion. Next up, this is an interesting one because this is Boomerang, who isn't in the same category of Rogues Gallery in my mind as Lizard is. Lizard is like A tier. Not Lizard, sorry. Scorpion is in like the A tier. Maybe a bit close to A tier. John Morrissey of the Super Chat, thank you very much.
At John Morrissey 4106 donated $6.16. I'm very excited for the film and Legends, but I'm disappointed that it seems to follow the other storyline a bit, which I didn't like at all.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that hopefully they're just going to take segments of the other storyline. The other storyline in the comics, yeah, you've probably got it wrapped in cellophane on your shelf. But it's the story with Morgan. Morgan? What's his name? Not Morgan. Morlan. The spider totem guy.
With the spider totems and the
and Spider-Man going through changes, and again, it's different to the animated show's way of him turning into the man spider, but he does turn into like a spider. He's like a Spider-Man, but without all the fur. He has like teeth and double eyes, and a bit like Spider-Boy, essentially. Do you know, where he's got the fangs and stuff? But anyway, people didn't like that because it changed Spider-Man for a while, but then he reverted back, I think. But anyway, John, I agree with you. Hopefully some good figures to come from this. Very much appreciate the super chat. So, as I was saying, Jay, Boomerang's not an A-list character in my mind. So, do you like the idea we're going to get live-action Boomerang? And I'm just going to throw this out there, and I think many people are thinking the same. I think a few of these characters we're going to talk about are not going to be big deals in the movie. They are going to be montage, because the start of the film,
it's going to be Fantastic Four again, isn't it? Where we have this montage of all the villains, starting with Mole Man and going through that. We're going to get maybe a 5-minute as we defeat Boomerang and some of our other fellow probably D-list villains.
Yeah, it's a 4-year jump, and he's focusing on beyond Spider-Man. The synopsis says it's a 4-year jump, and for that time, obviously Peter Parker's got no life anymore. No one knows who he is, so he's solely focused on being Spider-Man. So they're gonna start the movie with a montage of what he's been up to in that last 4 years and just taking on all these villains. So I don't think these are going to get a lot of screen time, because apparently his brother is playing Boomerang, and his brother's not exactly an actor. Again, that's just a rumor. We'll never know until that happens. But if that's the true, it's just going to be a few seconds.
Yeah, because they got to cover that time period from the time jump and forgetting poor Peter. Paul Chiara was very upset at all the Peter forgetting for poor MJ as we go through. So it looks like they are continuing with that then, and not just writing off what happened in the previous films. So nice to see the continuation. But surely, this is a Fantastic Four style montage to have some defeating of villains and show his friendly neighborhoodness as they try to ground Peter a bit more in this film. And he did look a lot more Peterish in this film, because he looks sad, he looks depressed.
Yeah.
Half his family are dead again. So I'm like, there we go.
I'm just waiting Spider-Man. I'm hoping he has a part-time job as a photographer. Do you know, because he needs to be paying his rent. Do you know, but I think he's still he's in college, isn't he? But I need, in my mind, because of the animated show, he's a photographer, and we're not. I know that in the modern day, you don't really need a photographer, if you know what I mean. So I know it would be stupid if Tom Holland in the movie was a photographer, because what newspaper needs a photographer anymore? So maybe he could be, I don't know, what would be the modern day equivalent of a photographer? Like an Instagrammer or something? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's going to be some form of vlogger. So it nearly was the Tom Holland only fans with some of those topless scenes we were seeing. Cheeky Monkey was getting very excited as my body shaming was going on there.
Oh, he's a married man now. He's a married man. And he says if he has kids, he's not going to act anymore. So it's maybe the last Spider-Man film. Who knows? Here's the comic reference. This is The Amazing Spider-Man 345, Jay. Want another guess on the year for this one?
Yeah, another guess here for that one. That would be 1991.
Bang on the money. 1991. Correct. Yes. Correct.
Well, I can do that. I can cheat now and do the math, you see, and add on the number of weeks to the previous number.
Okay.
It's a brain like that.
Well, very nice. So anyway, it says Boomerang. Again, now, could we get a Marvel Legend Boomerang? Yes, of course we could. Absolutely we could.
Well, we've got a comic book one.
We have a comic
one. On the Bucky cap. I've lost most of his boomerangs. I think he came with 3.
Yeah,
I think I'm down to 1.
He has storage for them for sure. I had about 3 of these because this was in a wave that went to a $5 somewhere. So I just brought multiples. I don't even know why. I was customizing or doing something back in the day. But yeah, there is a comic Boomerang that looks very similar to how he looks in the film, with the blue and the white rather than the purple and blue. So I think usually these type of things affect the aftermarket. So you probably wouldn't have been able to even sell a Boomerang on eBay last week because no one gave a fuck. This week, Boomerang appears in a Spider-Man trailer. Boomerang is now suddenly a gold mine on the aftermarket. So
on eBay, and let's have a look.
I'm just curious. It maybe needs a few days to take effect, but I'm pretty confident people are going to be putting their Boomerangs up on online. But a live action one is something possible. Again, it all depends on what Disney are sending Hasbro, because Disney have to send Hasbro assets to make these figures a year in advance sometimes. So at that time, what were they planning? What characters were ready for that type of stuff? Some characters ain't fully fleshed out yet. Some character designs ain't finalized yet. So some things get pushed to marketing because they're finished, if you know what I mean. So we could get a Boomerang figure because it was something they had ready a year ago, but when it comes to the final cut of the film, he's only in it for a few seconds. Anyone remember Rintra? Anyone? Rintra? Anybody? Rintra?
Somebody's mentioned Rintra in the chat. I can see it there.
Yeah,
I can scroll. Somebody said Rintra a minute ago.
It fucking happens, doesn't it? Where we get a figure in action figure form that is not a big deal in the movie. So I'm just saying, do not be surprised if we get a live action Boomerang in the action figure line. But yeah, do you want one, Jay?
It's Spidey and it's MCU, so I'll probably buy most things when it comes to Spidey. The other MCU films I tend to I tend to pick and choose, but now I'm back in, probably Spidey, most things will be coming home with me because it is Spidey, it is the animated series. It's why I literally collect action figures, and now it's live action, so I will probably buy one. I might not need another Punisher, though. It might break the own rules straight away if that's true, but we will see.
I've got virtually every MCU figure. Literally, I think I have 99% of the MCU figures. And I've got a cube. That top cube is Spider-Man Rogues Gallery. So I will continue buying all the Rogues Gallery stuff for sure. I've got a spot for him. But granted, Scorpion over Boomerang every day of the week. Thank you. Let's keep going through because there are even more here. This one was pretty fun. This is the Amazing Fantasy 15 cover recreated in live action, which is just a wink and nod to the Steve Ditko arts and the Jack Kirby story, Spider-Man's debut in 1984, I believe. So, no, 64.
1984. Where the hell are you got?
64. 64. I knew the year. That was a typo, a vocal typo.
Definitely early 60s.
Yes, 64. It's 64. So yeah,
and if you've got a 9.8 of these, you probably got 6.4 million. So
wow, yeah, really? That how much it is? Shit.
I'm sure this thing can go for crazy money
John
if it's
Morrissey.
in decent condition.
John, do you have this? John's got fucking every Marvel comic. John Morrissey.
That's what I believe he does. I'm like, John Morrissey, if you want to cash out just a couple of things, you'd be a millionaire, my son.
John Morrissey's watching now live. Shout out John, as always. John, do you have this? Do you have Amazing Fantasy 15 in your collection? I'll be very curious to know. But yeah, this is just a nice little wink and nod. And we're seeing a lot of the fabric costume as well, because this is his own creation. Because, of course, every Spider-Man is also a seamstress, it seems, because they can make costumes, no problem. No longer Tony Stark posting.
No, it
stuff.
is seeming more and more seamy. One has sold for $3.6 million in 2021.
Fuck. John Morrison, can you sell your copy? Just sort us all out so we can quit our jobs and just stay on YouTube. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
I think that's a fantastic community gesture there, our good friend John.
Yeah, I'll stream every day. Get involved.
We could stream daily. We could all retire on Amazing Fantasy 15 in the 9.8.
No, I think once a week and people are fed up of me. Anyway, so this is just a nice little wink and nod. Jay, just confirm again. Do you reckon we're going to get a Spider-Man Marvel Legend for No Way Home, for Brand New Day?
I think we probably will. It's a safe bet. Let's hope they get the costume right. And again, as I say, not too much concept art because they've done the final swing version, but this time it's just they've taken it slightly differently for this version of the Spider-Man image there. But I like the nod to Amazing Fantasy 15. I think that's. I'm surprised they've never done that before in the trailer.
Yeah.
Cheers.
How many Spider-Man films we had now? Like this is the 4th for Tom. And then 2 and 3.
Yeah, 3 right?
So that's 9, right?
9, I would say. 9 plus the animated Spider-Verse stuff if we're counting.
But in live action, it's the 9th solo Spider-Man film, not including his cameos, and it's took them 9. But it looks pretty good, so bravo. And again, for most people watching this film, that'll be a blink and miss. No one knows, no one cares. But for the people that know, it's that sort of extra appreciation, sort of tip of the cap, like, okay, I see what you did there. So yeah, I like it for the comic fans. Let's keep going through. I'll come back to some of these in a minute. There's obviously Frank in his van, by the way. Made to order Punisher van in 2026, Jay?
I would not say no, and I think a lot of the community would also say yes. Only issue would be the price that it would be, and maybe it wouldn't get that. But if they're going to go back into the HasLab and that sort of territory, I think a Punisher van would be a good way to go back in. Probably prefer an animated version, but yeah.
HasLab is a swear word now. They're staying away from HasLab. It causes too much drama that they can't be arsed with. So I don't think Hasbro will be doing a Punisher van. Although, like you said, I would very much want one. As long as it's got a top, middle, and bottom, I'm happy. So there you go. Really good to see these two interact. And it seems like, Jay, that we assume, again, when you hear Frank's going to be in the movie, you just assume that you're going to see their meeting and they're going to interact in some degree. But it appears that they already know each other. So we're not going to see their first time they've met on screen. We're just going to have to assume that both of them being in New York, they've bumped into each other, and Spider-Man knows Frank means well, but he does it the wrong way type thing because.
That's always been the case with the Tom Holland Spidey, isn't it? We never got the proper origin. We introduce him as part of the character, and then we kind of backtrack as we go on. So yeah, they're just keeping their tradition, I suppose, with that and Tom Holland's character and what he's been doing these last few years.
Yeah, I do love it though. Like this is what comics. But when you read a comic book, you can flip a page and another character will just randomly make a cameo, because they all live in fucking New York. So this is what it's all about. Like. Spider-Man, something goes wrong in New York. The Punisher's like, I'm going to get involved, see what's happening. And Spider-Man also is there as well. Like, this shit happens in the comics, so I love seeing it in live action as well. And I liked their brief little introduction. But I hope the Punisher's role is a bit more significant. You know, like, I hope it's not just a 5-minute scene, a quick cameo. I hope he has a more of a part to play, because
I think Hulk might be in it more than Punisher, for the way I would assume from the whole mutation thing that's going on, and they've kind of got the Kirk Connors role kind of done by Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner doing it.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about.
We'll see.
Yeah, you talked about the sort of storyline here. So there's his eyes going bad, and I think that. Comic reference is from the other storyline that John Morrissey referred to, where he starts turning into that sort of spider hybrid. The top one is just, again, it's sometimes I don't think people put comic references together that were never intentionally there, but do you know, like, I don't think wardrobe give her that outfit for that look, but who do I know? But obviously,
they did seem there was like a red tint to her hair, a little highlight, if you will, under certain lights.
Unless she talks about you've hit the jackpot. It's like there's irrelevant making her look the same as that. Because that is the first time you see Mary Jane in the comics and she said, you just hit the jackpot. So I don't think they intentionally made her look like this panel. I just think it's a coincidence, but people find the comic reference. So I don't think that one's a deep cut by any means, but just think she's not even Mary Jane. She's Michelle something or other, isn't she? Did they retcon that or change that or something? I can't remember.
Wasn't it Michelle Jones or something? It was like.
But then wasn't there something where they found out it was actually Mary Jane? I can't remember. I can't fucking remember. I'm gonna have to rewatch these.
Oh, they were at the
Jones,
desk, weren't they? At the end of one of the films, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they find her like ID or something, and they went, wait, your name's this. Yeah, everyone's saying Michelle Jones. Yeah, so yeah, like. Anyway, ignore that reference. I don't think that's that significant. Let's go back to Spider-Man in his cocoon then, because he's going to get the organic webs, it seems. So this is, again, the other storyline that John was referring to, where he does go into a cocoon, which seems to be the case here. It seems like he collapses in one scene, and then he sort of subconsciously goes and puts himself in a little spider cocoon to go through a metamorphosis or whatever that word is, in a way, and then
that was very good, soon.
Is that what it is? Yeah. And then he falls, and then you see him like he's got no web shooters on, and he panics and he falls, and then they don't show you his arm in the trailer. They obviously cut it, but he does web. So I think that's them sort of confirming that he's now got organic webs like Tobey Maguire, and he's going to find out for himself if it comes out of other places and not just his wrists. He'll be able to find out for himself. Won't even need to ask Peter to anymore. What do you think about that, Jay? Do you reckon?
I saw this scene and I just thought, oh God, Man Spider. Surely, please, somebody, just make him Man Spider. I was very excited. I jumped from my seat in excitement because as soon as I saw he's mutating, I was like, I just went straight animated series as I would. I was like, somebody get me the Neogenic Recombinator. Let's make him a full-on Man Spider because I might actually get my figure at some point, was all I was thinking. So I was lost in excitement with a sort of more 90s style. But you're saying he's more sort of 2005-ish storyline of the other. Yeah. Doesn't sound quite as exciting as my animated series nostalgia I was getting there, but some form of mutation into a Man Spider versus Hulk. Let's have a full-on 6-arm Spidey into full Man Spider. Let's do that for a bit. I would be excited to see that on the big screen.
I'd love to see Man Spider as well, but I do think they're probably leaning more into this other story where he's a bit more. I don't know. It's a bit more. I don't know. He's not he's not like the Man Spider that our mind's eye is. Our mind's eye of Man Spider is this fucking thing. Where's the image here? I made sure we got one before we started. There we go. That's our mind's eye of Man Spider. That is what we want. That is the Marvel legend we want, by the way. So because I'm not going to sit. I've not read every Spider-Man comic. Of course I haven't. But I have watched every single fucking episode of that 90s animated cartoon several times. So I know that storyline to a T. And what character is in that story? The Punisher.
Well, it could be old Frank. There was a
the Punisher is a part of that story. Could this Peter get 4 arms? Like maybe. I don't think they will, by the way. But like, Man Spider seems very likely. The end, like he could be the big bad at the end of the film, and then people like the Hulk and the Punisher have to sort of. Because they both know that there's something going wrong with Peter, I think they both go to help him, and then they have to team up to stop him or something like that. Maybe, like, because right now, who is the big bad of the movie? We don't really know yet, do we? So we've got all these little C-list characters.
I'm assuming it's in Lego minifigure form. It's the best I can give you there.
Yeah,
of my girl Sadie Sink. There was a. I don't know. Let's get into this. Is she Jean Grey? Are we going full X-Men? Is this how we lead in? Is that
her? Is that Sadie
I like
Sink?
the pose. That has to be her, isn't it? She goes, I want some pose and some evil Jean Grey, and she can become happier Jean Grey later. Let's go. Because I want her in the MCU for a long time, so I don't want some throwaway character they're going to kill off. I want her to have a decent role for many years to come. Because I think she's a fantastic actress and could be brilliant in the MCU for years to come. Now I don't get to see her on Stranger Things anymore.
Sadie Sink would be great casting, first and foremost, like you said. I agree. But maybe it's not Jean Grey. Let's just pretend for a minute it isn't Jean. Because in the trailer, you got Spider-Man chasing the tank. He gets to the tank door, rips it open. There's an old lady. Apparently it's the same old lady who got punched in the face by Carol Danvers. Poor lady. Yeah, the same one who was a Skrull, who got punched on the bus by Carol in the first Miss Marvel, apparently. Anyway, she's in there, and then you can tell that she was brainwashed, and then that brainwashing mechanism bounces to the police officer, and then it bounces to someone else on the balcony. So obviously there's some mind manipulation going on, which is, of course, what Jean Grey can do. But, like, why would Jean Grey be stealing a tank and running rampant in New York? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like Jean Grey was like plucked by Charles Xavier. Like, she wasn't running rampant in New York, unless someone knows. Again, I've not read every single comic. Like, it doesn't make sense for Jean Grey, right?
Why should she be doing that? I can see Al Coven there saying Jean Grey appears in Ultimate Spider-Man, so maybe that's why she's in it. The Watcher saying, I think people are crazy to think that she isn't Jean Grey. I can see there, so everyone's convinced she is. But yeah, to your point, yeah, that doesn't. She must have. They keep trying to. They've done the Dark Phoenix thing twice, and it's never worked on the screen. So if she got some dark force possessing her or something, that they're going to do a different already, and something's happened in this We've got to get the multiverse in there somewhere.
They can't be planting fucking Dark Phoenix storylines in fucking
maybe
Spider-Man.
she's already had it, and it's they're just getting rid of it again. I don't know, but somebody has had to have done something.
For the sake of conversation, who else could she be? Okay, so let's just say she isn't Jean. Jean's are obviously, I think if you're betting, Jean's got the best odds right now because people don't really have a strong option for someone else. But there are rumours that she's from the multiverse, and she could be Tobey Maguire's daughter, and she could be May Parker.
Could be Mayday, okay.
Yeah. There are also rumours she could be Typhoid Mary. What can Typhoid Mary do? She can control minds to a certain extent. And she has like split personality disorder.
They said Daredevil's first, isn't it? So she's more of a Daredevil centric character.
So let's continue with this Daredevil stuff, okay? So obviously we've seen these ninjas down here, okay? So we'll get to Tarantula in a minute, but let's look at these ninjas for a second. I've got a better image here somewhere. Right, so
I like that John's comment there. So why do you need an excuse to steal a tank? It's just why not?
I guess you could just do what you wanted to do. Well, I grabbed some images earlier. Let me see if I can find them. Because there's that shot with the ninjas, People have already been dissecting it a little bit.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
we'll get into that.
yeah, so I had the images here. Okay, so here's the full image of that. Okay, so this the shot from the trailer with Spidey jumping into the hand ninjas, which looks great. It really does. The hand,
Beautiful shot again. Yeah,
the hand are in the MCU. We already know that anyway. They've been in many Daredevil this season, but Spider-Man's never come up against the ninjas yet, which I like to see. But look at this dead space. Now, in the last Spider-Man trailer, they showed a similar shot and they CGI'd out the two other Spider-Men, but you could still see Lizard getting punched in the face. So, because in that trailer, you see Lizard's head like getting snapped backwards. So you knew someone had been CGI'd out. Now, there's not anything to that extent in this section, but people are saying that the ninjas down here are not looking at Spider-Man. They're looking forward.
Yeah, just got your eye focus out.
Yeah, they're looking forward.
They're looking at a big grey Hulk. Surely that's my guess of where we're going with this.
It could be Grey Hulk. Like the end of this film could come in to the prison or whatever because he's fighting the hand in the prison, isn't he? Maybe, but people are saying, and Charlie Cox was on Jimmy Kimmel yesterday, getting asked questions, and he was getting sweaty. Is it Daredevil?
No,
that ain't me. Someone else has done this. I've just nicked it off the internet. I would have done a better job for the record, but for the sake of conversation, is Daredevil in this Spider-Man movie? Matt Murdock was in the last one, so Charlie Cox has already appeared in a Spider-Man film, and I guess the next step would be Daredevil. Frank Castle's in it. The hand's in it.
Spider-Man's got a key to the city. Surely that's going to be something for the Kingpin storyline from Daredevil.
Yes. So apparently, apparently the second Daredevil season sums up the Kingpin mayor story. And this is post that season. So that's why he's getting the key to the city, because it's not the Kingpin is mayor anymore. So this is after. So it depends on. Some people are thinking that Daredevil could be in prison by the end of season 2, because that's very similar to a lot of different storylines in the comics when Matt goes into prison type thing. So he is out of prison. Just saying, he's in the prison fighting the hand. And if Matt Murdock does go to prison at the end of season 2, maybe he needs a good lawyer and he's gone back to the prison. I don't know. But is Daredevil in this movie?
That would be an interest. I hadn't actually thought of Daredevil being in this, but he was in the Matt Murdock form, at least in the other. This is almost getting like a live action animated series Spider-Man in my head on the big screen, which is getting me even more hyped. We had a team up where we had Punisher, Hulk, Spider-Man, and Daredevil in the same film. I would be one happy fat bearded man sat in that cinema in about 4 months' time with Sadie Sink in there and a Scorpion. They are selling me on this film because I'm as a big Spider-Man fan as it comes, but the hype is getting real now. So where's Elektra? Didn't she die in the Daredevil TV show? So can we have some reincarnated?
I think they already did that to her.
They did that, didn't they? At some point, can we get her back, or a recast or something from a? Let's have a multiverse Elektra in this film.
If I had to bet money, I'm not that confident Daredevil's going to be in it. Do I think Daredevil should be in it? Yes, absolutely. Out of all those Netflix Marvel characters, from Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punisher, all of the Defenders type thing, Frank Castle's actually the first one that's going to be in the MCU as the Punisher. I know Charlie Cox was in the last one, but he was only playing Matt Murdock. He wasn't playing Daredevil, where Frank Castle in the Punisher, then he doesn't need a secret identity. He's Frank Castle. So I'm just saying, Charlie Cox hasn't yet got to play Daredevil in the MCU. And it does make sense to put him in a Spider-Man, just for a battle maybe, because they've got to keep the last Spider-Man film got so much hype because of all the cameos and stuff that were never spoiled until the film came out. So surely they want to keep a couple of surprises until the film comes out, because everyone knows Sadie Sink's in the movie. That's no secret. They didn't show her in the trailer, so obviously they can still show her. And when they do later trailers, they're going to give you a better glimpse of her. But there's going to be other things they keep secret. So I think Daredevil is a possibility. That's all.
Possibility.
That's all.
And the Hulk hulking up could be again a thing that
people are saying Savage Hulk, Grey Hulk, Like,
Yeah.
what Hulk do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's
Well,
going to be
not
Grey
their
Hulk?
weird version, not their version of Professor Hulk. I was thinking, I'm sure I'd read somewhere that it was going to be a Grey Hulk, but again, a more savage Hulk, but in grey, just a distinct from what we've
Well,
had
in the
previously.
comics, the Hulk. So, do you know everyone's mind has been erased because of Doctor Strange? Yeah. So in the comics, something similar happens where, is it Mephisto or something? Someone erases everyone's memory about Peter Parker, but the Hulk remembers. So
But not Bruce.
not Bruce, yes.
But yeah.
Yes. So obviously Bruce, in the trailer, asked him what's your name again? So if he hulks out in this movie, the Hulk may recognise Spider-Man, Peter Parker, which will then unlock the memories for Bruce, and then by the end of the movie, Bruce remembers again. Do you know what I mean? So that sort of starts planting the seed for Peter to get back in with the Avengers, which is going to be needed for Secret Wars and etc. type thing, because he's got to get his black suit in Secret Wars. So Kevin Feige is absolutely saving a little black piece of glue for Secret Wars. Do you know, like, so he's got to get back in there with the Avengers.
He's had a bit of goo, isn't he? In the post-credit scene of he's got Tom Hardy's goo. Could he lose that goo and get some more goo, please?
That's in the universe somewhere. Yeah, that's in the universe somewhere.
Yeah.
It was Mephisto during One More Day, but Doctor Strange also gets credit for it in one moment in time. Yeah, there you go. So I knew, again, there's multiple stories with very similar sort of story beats. But yeah, so I think something similar is going to happen here. By the end of the movie, somebody else is going to unlock their memories and remember Peter Parker, because the whole film is about him being miserable, bored, like he's alone. He's obviously going through this metamorphosis and he's got no support. So I think by the end of the movie, someone's going to remember him, and it may be Bruce, maybe a few people, I don't know. But yeah, Bruce could be, so we could get a boring Marvel legend Bruce Banner, by the way. Could, just saying, be boring. It would be boring, but we could. Or we could get a new MCU Hulk, which wouldn't be a bad thing, because we need a good
an accurate one though, because we've had the inaccurate Hulks from the Infinity War and the Endgame were not particularly great. Endgame, I should say, not Infinity War.
Yeah. So there's another. So again, there's Hulk figures we could get, a Bruce Banner figure we could get. Tarantula, we haven't spoken about Tarantula, so let's talk about that for a moment. Tarantula up top there, again, beautifully recreates the comic book cover, which is the Amazing Spider-Man 134. Jay, do you want to guess the year on this one? Gone a bit
that
back
would
in
be
time.
1966.
A little bit off, my friend. The next decade. We're in 1974.
74.
This is the debut of Tarantula. And they have, like, look, even the police officer shooting up at this fucking water pipe or whatever they are. Like, they have literally recreated that really well. So, again, but it just makes me think, just like Boomerang, he's going to be a cameo. He's going to be a montage.
Surely.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah. So, but, again, is it a character that Hasbro have been sent assets for by Disney a year ago to make an action figure for? Quite possibly. So, even though he's a cameo, even though he's a montage character, he could still be a Marvel legend. So we do have a Marvel legend Tarantula on the Spider-Man retro card. He's on the wall there somewhere next to me. So we have a comic one as well, but not a live action of yet, obviously. But yeah, could possibly be. Just putting that out there, could possibly be. So let's skip through these one more time, and then we're gonna wish list a little wave here. Okay, I think we've went through most stuff. So Jay.
Yes.
Let's do a 4-figure wave. How many did the Fantastic Four have? Johnny, Sue. It was 5.
7, was it?
No.
Did they have?
Johnny
had a full
2.
wave.
Johnny had 2. Flame on, Flame off. Reed, Sue, Thing, and Silver Surfer. So 6.
Silver Surfer.
Okay.
So
let's have a 6-figure wave from you, Jay, based on all of the information that we have gotten from this trailer. Same with the chat, all right? I'll read out a couple from the chat if you're playing along at home. 6 figures in for a wave of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Unfortunately, it's not a Build-A-Figure wave. They are going the same route of Deadpool. The last 2 MCU-centric waves were Deadpool and Fantastic Four. None of them had Build-A-Figures. So I don't think we're getting a Build-A-Figure wave here. So let's go 6 characters that can fit in the regular size box.
Sit in the regular box.
yeah,
You've killed my Scorpion already.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's going to have to be a deluxe.
Right.
Okay, let's do a 6-figure wave and a deluxe.
Right, the deluxe is Scorpion.
Okay,
there we are.
Easy.
That has to be.
Easy.
There we go. Right, 6-figure wave. So we need Spider-Man. So we'll start off nice and easy with Spider-Man. So that is Spider-Man covered. Yeah, they'll probably do Frank. So let's go for 2. Let's go for Frank and Peter. Now let's go. Let's go with Sadie Sink. She's in the trailer. Let's go with Jean Grey because she would have been turned round and revealed.
Still not sure. So I'm not confident that she's Jean Grey.
I'm booking a fantasy wave here because I need to believe in figure of it. So please put her in this wave. Then we're going to have one, or I think we'll have a hand ninja as an army builder.
Yeah, hand ninja army builder would be a good shout. You know, I wouldn't be mad at that as well. A live action hand ninja that you could also use with your Daredevil and stuff like that. Absolutely fine with that. That's a great shout. Couple of heads as well.
That's up to 4. Based on what else we've seen in the trailer, I'm going to have to go with. Let's go with Tarantula there.
Okay.
They'll do a random one we have to go get one of the montage characters in there. But my sixth one, was he in the trailer or was he not in the trailer? So I'm going to go with Tombstone.
Yeah, not in the trailer.
There was a voice. To me, that voice sounded like Keith David, who was Goliath in the Gargoyles. That is the voice of Goliath to me. I might be wrong, but it really sounded like Keith David talking about the spiders at the end. So he's not supposed to be playing Tombstone.
No, apparently it's the
so
guy
maybe
from
it was somebody that sounds like him. Yeah, but maybe he sounds like Keith David because I've not seen him act before. So that maybe that was Tombstone in disguise, and we'll go with Tombstone.
Yeah, Tombstone.
Because he's been talked about for this film for ages.
So on the leaks, there are some pictures of Tombstone. So yes, Tombstone's going to be in this movie. He wasn't in the trailer, but you're right. He absolutely could be a figure. But I'm thinking if the figures are going to be released in early April, like Dan Yoon is sort of hinting towards, again, we're assuming this is a Spider-Man centric wave. If he isn't in the trailer, are they saving something? Does that mean like he's probably too early for a figure to be revealed?
Are they? Yeah, it depends what they're doing. Are they just going to do a couple of deluxes first, like they did with the Captain America film?
Yeah. And
then maybe give us a whole wave later? So with No Way Home, it was all over the place. What did we have? We had a 3-pack of the Spider-Men. Yeah. We eventually had them released on the non-retro card. Yeah. Then we had the 4 deluxes we've discovered, plus a whole wave.
We have Matt Murdock, MJ, and Sandman, and then the 3 Spider-Men with their heads. Like I would like an unmasked head of Peter Parker, but we've got plenty of Tom Holland heads. I want the mask, like the half mask head. Do you know where he's like lifted it up a little bit?
You want the Pizza Spidey head?
Yeah, essentially the live action Pizza Spider head. I swear there's a scene. Let me look there. Spider-Man, brand new day. I swear
there's a scene inside the mask, which again a new bit of camera work that we'd not seen. A bit like we'd have Tony inside the mask. So it was weird seeing Tom's eye within the mask as he was jumping off. Now the chat is saying it did sound like Keith David. So Prophet said it definitely sounded like Keith David. Alexis, I thought it was Keith David too. Maybe it was him. But I'm just saying he isn't playing Tombstone. Is all I'm saying. No, it could still be Keith David. Could be playing somebody else, but he's definitely not Tombstone. At least it wasn't going mad with my hearing. I was like, that sounds like Goliath. We will see. There is in Homecoming.
The head I was referring to. We've got plenty of unmasked Tom Holland heads, but I'd like a half mask spider head. So yeah, just something different, something we haven't got yet already in live action form. So yeah, that's my little cameo. Yeah. So is that your wave?
I've got to get Dan collecting Lego because they've made that head.
Is that your wave again? So Scorpion's your deluxe. Then you got Spider-Man, Punisher, Hand Ninja, Sadie Sink, whoever she is.
Yes. And Tarantula and Tombstone. I checked in there.
Okay, yeah.
Because I couldn't have Hulk because they ain't going to put Hulk on a regular card.
Unless you get Bruce Banner. If you get Bruce Banner a regular card.
I'll just do Bruce again, surely.
No,
if they do, please make his ankles stand up because my one, his ankles they're just like this and they will not move. They are frozen in this position.
Yeah, you haven't got that version of I'm looking for him on my shelf. That version's got the old suited body legs, so that's why he doesn't stand. Let me read out a couple from the chat, because the chat have got some good suggestions here. Damien Ristori, shout out Damien. He says Spidey, Tombstone, Boomerang, Tarantula, Frank, and MJ. So he wants all the villains. That man does like a little rogues gallery. Justin says Spider-Man, another Spider-Man. We always get two Spider-Men. He's not wrong. There's always a different costume.
Point, yeah.
There's always a different costume. Every Spider-Man wave has had two costumes. So he's not wrong. There probably will be a variant Spider-Man that we haven't seen yet. Maybe a Peter Parker and a Spider-Man, because we could just get hobo Peter Parker, like Tanner's saying. So, okay, so Spider-Man, another Spider-Man, Punisher, Hand Ninja, Tarantula, Tombstone, and then the deluxe would be Scorpion. That's a great, I'm not complaining if that was the wave. Matt Cross said, would love a film Hand Ninja for variants on the display. Tombstone, and I feel Sadie is Typhoid Mary. Could possibly be. They definitely don't want us to know yet. So hopefully it's not like, do you know when they tell us it's not like, for fuck's sake, really, that all she is? Like, I hope it's a big deal. Like, at this point, if she's not Jean Grey...
I hope she is a big character. It's not somebody I've never even heard of.
Yeah, this is what I mean. At this point, if she's not Jean Grey, people are going to be pissed. So I'm just trying to, like... I'm just saying, I'm not confident.
We have our own expectations. They have been set high going into the finally ending this multiverse thing that's gone on far too long and going into X-Men.
I don't want it to be Jean. Like, she doesn't need to be...
You don't want it to be Jean?
No, because she doesn't need to be Jean. Like, you can save Jean, and you can save all these new X-Men for after Doomsday. In Secret Wars, they're going to reset it, and we're going to get a brand new X-Men film, and you can recast, start fresh. You don't need to bring Jean Grey. If anything, like in the Spider-Man animated show, when he starts mutating, who does he go to?
Connors, and then goes to Craven's. Doesn't he go to Craven's missus as well?
He goes to Calypso. No, you're right. He goes to Calypso. He goes to Kurt Connors, of course. But where does he go? He tells them he doesn't want to be a freak, and they all get offended.
Where does he go?
He goes to the fucking X-Men mansion. He talks to Charles Xavier.
I can't remember that. There you go.
Yeah,
okay.
So in the animated show, and I'm sure this happens.
Didn't they turn up till later? Because they had a.
Because he's starting to mutate. He goes to Charles Xavier and says, "I'm turning into a mutant. You need to cure me." And Charles Xavier goes, "I don't cure mutants. That's not what I do." And then Peter literally is a dickhead because he stands there in front of all the X-Men and goes, "I don't want to be a freak." And like Beast and Wolverine's like, "Shut up, Bob." Like, and then they obviously.
It's time for a rewatch.
So this is what I'm saying. So like. It would have made more sense to cameo someone like that, like a Charles Xavier, because it's like, who would you go to if you were starting to mutate? But I don't think this universe has properly set up the X-Men yet, so you can't really do that, because obviously the Charles Xavier we've seen is a multiversal. We only seen her in the Illuminati, didn't we? A version of him in the Illuminati. But I'm just saying, like, the X-Men have been associated with this storyline where he's starting to mutate, but Jean, I just don't get the Jean connection, that's all. Like, why is Jean driving a tank? I don't get it.
I get that bit, but I just want Sadie to play Jean. So we've got to take her into a Spider-Man film to get there. I'll accept it to get there, because I want her cast as Jean. I think would be fantastic.
Here's a caveat. I'd accept Sadie Sink as Jean Grey if she is captured and being manipulated to do the dirty work for a bigger bad.
The Purple Man. It's back.
It may be, but this is what I'm.
He's in the animated series, isn't he? In the X-Men one.
In the trailer, we can see her. In the trailer, we see her tied to a chair, so she's been kidnapped or something. So, is another villain manipulating her because of her mind controlling to do the bad? Like, then I'd accept it. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, she's being manipulated. She's young, naive. She's just doing what she's told by the big bad.
Well, we've got Jessica Jones coming back. We can get David Tennant back.
Kilgrave is dead. He died in this season.
Yeah, but we're in a multiverse, so it's not a problem, is it? He's Dr. Bloomin' Who. He'll come back as that version of him.
There are other characters that can control minds. David Tennant doesn't control minds. He has the power of persuasion. He can basically tell you what to do.
So he's telling her, boy, go and manipulate these people with your mind control.
What a dangerous power, by the way. Fucking dangerous.
The Shadow King's in her head. He was doing things in her.
Okay, did anyone else?
There you go. Mark Sackhouse just said Shadow King as well. There you are. We're going even deeper.
I wanted to read out a couple more. Did anyone else give any more? No, everyone got bored. Fair enough. Fair enough. I agree with you. Scorpion should be a deluxe. Do it right with a tail that's articulated. So I'd like to see that. I would like to see, like, in my live action Spider-Man Rogues gallery, I would like to add Scorpion to it because, again, I wanted that Sinister Six recreated in live action. And, like, have we got everybody now? I know there was a shit version of fucking Chameleon in that Craven movie that I haven't watched, but somebody sent me the end credit scene. So there's a... Have you seen the Craven movie?
I have not seen. I've watched the first hour of Madam Web, but I generally fell asleep. Craven, I have not participated in as of yet. I tried to watch Venom 3, didn't get particularly far either.
Well, in Madam Web, that bad guy that's in Madam Web, I've not watched it, but he's part of that other storyline that John Morrissey referred to, where Spider starts mutating because that Morlun comes involved as well, and yeah, it gets a bit, again, it's comics, it gets convoluted, but there are connections all over the place, as you would expect. Okay, good stuff. Prophet says, great stream, you ought to have a good night. Prophet, you have a good night too, my friend. We are going to do the bonus show, by the way, with channel members. So we're going to be discussing this Spider-Man trailer with channel members. We're going to be asking them what they thought of the trailer, what they're anticipating for the Spider-Man movie, and also what they would like to see it, or what they... Not everyone collects MCU figures, so obviously I'd say, what do you think you'll see in the Spider-Man movie wave? What would it be? Because Jay's just wish-listed one. I'm going to say 2 versions of Spider-Man, Frank, and then I'll take a couple of the bad guys. Even if they are little cameos, I don't give a flying fuck. I just love adding unique characters to my display. If they were on screen for a couple of fucking seconds, they're canon. Do you know what I mean? Like...
what about the ghost of Aunt May? Goes to the tombstone there, so maybe she.
I'll just 3D
maybe
print a
Marissa
tombstone.
Tomei comes back. You know.
Do you know what? I'll take another Peter Parker. Do you know? I don't mind if that other, because he only seems to be wearing one costume so far. I'm sure that's going to change, but if he's only wearing one costume throughout most of the film now, I'd take a regular Peter Parker. A more moody Peter Parker, maybe interchangeable head with like the blacked out eyes or something. Do you know, like to show that he's turning or something's going wrong. I don't know. But yeah,
they might do that, mightn't they? Yeah.
But I love
Peter on the change.
I love the hand ninja idea. That is something I've not seen anyone else mention. And a live action hand ninja. We don't get a lot of live action MCU army builders. So if we got a hand ninja that just had a couple of heads, and all the heads are like in masks and stuff anyway, so it's like the perfect army builder. And we could use them for the Defenders and the Daredevils and the stuff that we already have in our collection. So I think a live action hand ninja really would like look great in other places on the display and benefit the MCU display in general, not just this movie. So it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where we go and who the villains will be going forward. One villain they've not done in live action is Hobgoblin. I would love a Hobgoblin in a future Spider-Man film, maybe. Assuming this is going to be another trilogy and Tom Holland's on for 3.
Well, he said that's what they want to do. They want to sign him up for another trilogy. But he's just married Zendaya, and he's put in his vows that as soon as she gets pregnant, he's going to quit acting and just become a full-time dad. So just make sure they're having safe sex, right? We don't want him...
Keep it in, Tom. Watch yourself first.
Yeah, because, I would also like to get another trilogy out of Tom. Because, that's what I hated about Batman films growing up, is that Batman always changed, and it was just, like... it just never felt consistent.
That'd be interesting. A trilogy out of Tom, and then maybe move to Miles and do live action Miles for a trilogy.
The third of this new trilogy, so it's Brand New Day, something else, and then the third of that trilogy could be handing the torch to Miles, and then they can set up with Miles after. But Ned could be Hobgoblin. Like something bad could happen in this movie to set him up for Hobgoblin in a future film.
It doesn't quite look Hobgoblin-ish to me.
Well, the second Spider-Man film in this trilogy would probably happen after Secret Wars at this point, because Secret Wars, even though I think it's going to move, is currently still scheduled for December 2027. So there's another Spider-Man film isn't coming out until after Secret Wars. So if Spider-Man gets the black suit in Secret Wars, then in the second film of this new trilogy, he could start out the movie in the black costume, and that could start creating Venom, and then Flash Thompson could get Venom in that, and you could go down that route maybe.
Okay. Yeah, they could. I suppose they do go to some form of battle world. He could literally get it the original way. Yeah.
Yeah, they should do it that way. They should. There's got to be. Secret Wars has to have comic nods here, there, and everywhere, and we've got to see Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman team up at some point. I think that's what every movie, comic, superhero fan lover wants. Like, people have always wanted that. It never happened. This is our last chance. Like Secret Wars, Tobey Maguire, Wolverine before they get too old, make it happen. But yeah. Anyway, a great trailer. Again, I'm not usually the type of person that gets super excited at trailers, because again, a trailer is there to sell you on the movie. They clip things, they leave it vague on purpose to keep you intrigued and to make you want to go and watch it. But it's an MCU movie, so of course I'm intrigued as always to see the next piece in this chapter as we lead towards Doomsday. Do we reckon we will get any type of Doomsday end credit scene? Spider-Man isn't apparently in Doomsday, apparently, but who knows?
We got the Fantastic Four rocket heading to Earth. Are we going to get something maybe following up on? Are we going to get the Thunderbolts at the end, the post-credit scene?
Alexi turns up in a fucking limo to pick him up.
We're in the yeah.
We need to have.
Let's have two post-credit scenes. Let's have a nice, funny post-credit scene where we have that happening, and there's something a bit more serious. But yeah, maybe because they're in New York, and we've had all the events of. Well, yeah, I don't know, the Avengers Tower. That's
gone
in New York. I'm trying to think where we're going with all that. And again, I'm just trying to keep the.
People are curious to see Peter's reaction to seeing Doctor Doom, because it looks like Tony Stark. But apparently, in Doomsday, he doesn't remove the mask. You don't see him without the mask. I don't understand them paying Robert Downey Jr. to do that without removing the mask. So I don't know if that's true. I think you're going to see Robert Downey Jr. face at some point, which has to play into the story because he looks like Tony Stark. Is it a variant of Tony Stark but with Doctor Doom in that universe? I think that's the best way to do it. But again, we will find out before the year is over. Figures are coming in April. We are we're on the 19th now, so we've got another stream next week. So probably no reveals next week, unfortunately, but hopefully there could be a stream on like April 1st. I think Michael said that in our Legends and Liquor chat earlier. They could do a little April 1st stream that no one's going to believe anything because it's on April Fool's Day. But the 1st of April is the 1st. 2nd of April is the Thursday. So if they want to do a stream on that day, that would be great for me and Jay. Me and Jay are not going to complain with that.
That would be very helpful.
Whenever the next Marvel live stream is, if it is a live stream, we obviously will accommodate to talk about the reveals if possible. But sometimes MCU figures are not revealed via live streams, and like Jay said, they just do a recap, so they could be revealed at any point now. We just got to wait for that sort of marketing push. And it's not just Marvel Legends and Hasbro, or be fucking everything associated.
The easiest way, because I know I'm a Lego collector, it's the easiest thing to do. As soon as they do something or leak something, we know it's about to happen because they're always the first. They've already had an Avengers Tower coming up for Doomsday, so apparently there will be something with that in that. So we will.
So have there not been any Spider-Man Brand New Day sets leaked?
No. Not that I can see. No, we're getting a giant helicarrier. So if you want an actual £400 based on the Winter Soldier helicarrier, that's coming. So I'm going to have to try and fit that somewhere above my city. And we've had a Doom helmet.
Okay, sometimes the minifigs names reveal characters, right? That's why they're probably so.
Yeah.
Maybe Jean Grey is on one of those boxes and they don't want it out.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, if the Marvel don't get a move on, and it is Jean Grey, Lego's leaking that. So hurry up, Marvel, and turn around.
Yeah, all good. Well, nice trailer. I'm going to end the poll right now as well, and it seems that a lot of people are on the same page as us in regards to their thoughts on the trailer. Looks great. looked great, 74%. Let's hope that trailer translate into a good movie first and foremost. Before we get the action figures, let's get a good movie of.
So what day is the 31st of July? Let's get the. It's a Friday, so it might be a midnight showing after the stream, maybe.
They don't do a lot of midnight showings anymore. But,
no, they haven't done them.
Yeah, but I'd go to a midnight showing for an MCU. Always would for an MCU movie, but it's been a while. The next film I'm genuinely looking forward to, like before Spider-Man and that, is fucking Scary Movie 6. Like,
that trailer.
I loved Scary Movie. The first two Scary Movie films were like comfort movies as a kid, like in my teenage early 20s. Like, when I just put them on in the background, like I can quote those movies back and forth. So I'm looking forward to that original creative team come back and take the piss out of all these new horror films. So yeah, Scary Movie 6 is the next one I'm looking for.
That trailer looked really good. That's why I'm excited for the NECA figure, because they're giving us these sort
I'm
of...
going to buy that NECA figure
head.
just for the head as a Scary Movie representation in my display. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Scary Movie. So that's the next film I'm looking forward to. But no midnight showing for movies for a while. I genuinely can't remember the last time there was a midnight showing. Not a clue. What was the last one? The last one I went to must have been an MCU movie.
It was probably Endgame, wasn't it?
Probably. Yeah, I think it probably would have. What else? Was there? No, there wasn't any, because COVID happened and the world went different, didn't it?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, I think that was probably it.
All right. Jay, always a pleasure. Tell the good people they can find you online.
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube at Jay's Toy Collection UK, covering all the action figure news. If you'd like to watch today's episode of Today in Toys, I literally uploaded it, I think, the second we went live, because I only just got back in from work. But Mattel Creations revealed, if you want my thoughts on the new Laser He-Man, and there is a new Stone Cold Steve Austin from his 1996 King of the Ring appearance, then you can head over there. But not much else at Mattel Creations, but there is a Skeletor Barbie or something that they were showing.
There you go, people. I'll put the link in the chat so you can go and support Jay over on his channel. I'm out the loop on the Mattel stuff myself, so I'm going to have to watch it myself a little bit later to get the details.
You can get all the McFarlane news as well, because, of course, that Joker finally went up for pre-order, inspired Jack Nicholson, so you can have a full breakdown of a figure that I don't think lasted 5 minutes in the good old US of A.
I pre-ordered it.
Not much longer here.
I pre-ordered it from Comic and Cocktails just to give myself the option of having it or not, because it will be easy to get rid of, but harder to track down if I don't pre-order it. So again, I'm admitting in public I pre-ordered a McFarlane figure. I can't believe it. Should have saved that for the after show. But I guarantee you, I get the fucking chase. Guarantee it. That's my look. That's the type of look. McFarlane, that's what they're going to do. They're going to go, oh, you're taking the piss out of us? Here's the version you don't want, you bastard. So
I did think that at the
going
exact
on the record
time
right now.
Yeah.
On the record right now, I bet you I get the pink version that I don't want of that figure. Jamie, if you want the pink version, you can have mine, because I guarantee you that'll be the version I get.
The Kenner variant. So yes, hopefully with Mattel taking over in a few months, then we won't get the random chase variants. You can actually order the figure you want without the risk.
Old Morg Weapon says New Generation is already offended on Scary Movie. Get with it. You don't have to like everything. It's meant to. Scary Movie is a comedy. You're meant to be able to laugh. If it's not funny, don't watch it. It's okay. Not everything is for everybody. That phrase can be related to everything in life: food, movies, TV, anything. Not everything is for everybody. Like, if it offends you, go somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's simple, easy.
I think that's the point of Scary Movies, isn't it? It's like it's supposed to, but it covers everybody. Offend all equally. There you are. That is the Scary Movie's tone.
It's meant to be a bit of fun. It's just a bit of fun. Don't take it too serious, people. All right? It's just meant to be fun. Right, we're getting out of here. I am going to go over to the bonus show though. So if you are a channel member, start hitting me up with the fresh DMs. And one more time, just as a reminder, Legends and Liquor is this Sunday. So if you want to be on Legends and Liquor this week, please hit me up. Let me know. Group 1, Group 2. Groups are always filling up fast these days. Pickups, and I'm not too sure what else. Again, not just Legends news, but toy news in general is a little bit slow at the minute. Maybe I'm getting grumpy and there's less out there I like. I don't know. but we can discuss pickups and whatever else on Legend of Liquor. If anyone has a fun topic suggestion, let me know, because I'm always happy to do a themed show. It is Amanda's birthday on Saturday though, so nothing that requires me to do a lot of digging and research and graphics, because I'm going to be out of the loop on the weekend. But the weekend after that, Jay, I don't want to promise anything, but I might do an Inner Circle. Maybe.
An Inner Circle?
Yeah, because Inner Circle is more...
Where have you pulled that one out of? It's been a long time since I've heard the name Inner Circle. Sweet Garden Gates.
Exactly, right? Inner Circle is games, isn't it, right? That's what an Inner Circle is. It's drinks and games, just having fun, where all the other streams are toy-centric, where Inner Circle isn't really toy-related. There's no unboxing, toys. It's literally hanging out with mates, playing games, having fun. So we haven't done one in a while, but if anybody wants to approach me with and be the games master and approach me with a game idea or something, then I think I have the opportunity to on the Friday night. So I usually do it late on a Friday night to accommodate my American friends as well. So I'm thinking, because Amanda's not here, Amanda's going away, Friday the 27th, which is next Friday, will be a late stream for us in the UK. And yeah, Inner Circle, just play some games.
Late Friday night.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kenny, are you listening? Carrot Culture, that sounds like a job for you. Or Justin, you can be the games master there with those StreamYard experiences.
Hopefully Kenny's on a Thursday. He's on a different day that week, but but yeah, we shall see. If anyone's got any games ideas or fun things we can do virtually with the crew, please let me know, because that's always a fun time. It will always be public. Inner Circles are public while they're live, but again, after the fact will be for channel members. So just become a channel member, people. It just makes life easier. So much extra content. Be involved with the community that we're building here. I'm going to go and speak to some of those good people right now. Go and follow J&J's Toy Collection UK. Go and check out all my reviews on the channel. Nothing new incoming, but we're on the lookout for Secret Wars, all right? So bear with us. We're going to find them before anybody else. Well, I say we. Rich will find them before anyone else. I hope so anyway. But time will tell. Maybe we'll have the Spider-Man figures before then. Who knows? I don't know. It depends. We'll see you next week. Or on Sunday if you're watching the Legends of Liquor. Or the Inner Circle. Again, I'm trying to figure it out, people. I'll definitely do an unboxing next Saturday as well. So there'll be an Legends of Liquor, Inner Circle, and a bonus unboxing stream within about a week's time. Do you know? So become a channel member, people, and watch one of these.